Hey, what's going on? And thanks for coming back for another week here at Yamanote Tech. That's Yamanote Tech. I have a few things I want to just go over. Is that getting used to using Anchor FM to record this podcast, and it's pretty easy. I actually pulled that transition from the transitions folder that's available on the Anchor dashboard. Anchor pretty much is a service that allows you to go ahead and create a podcast with very ease without any problems. They try to give you all the things you may need, from sponsoring, getting yourself sponsored by some sort of services outside of your app, your podcast, to having a list of different libraries that you can utilize to store different videos or audio or whatever you basically, or other podcasts clips. They also even have a messaging service where you can send out a link, and people can send a link, can message you to on your podcast. So that way, like if you want to have like some sort of like live Q&A, people can do that with you. So with right now, I'm recording using the service, the record tab here in the Anchor FM dashboard, and you can see that you can record up to 30 minutes up in the browser. And then if you want to record more, you would have to use like another you basically create another stop the recording and make another recording and attach them together. You don't need to use this service here. You can actually use any other app if you want to, and then just upload that file. But for right now, for the ease of the service, I really want to like start out using it. So I'm breaking it down into like segments. So today, I think I was going to talk a little bit more about the email newsletter that I want to start bringing out. Some of the steps that I actually took this week to become better at branding and building up my network. And then I'll probably do a little bit of a technology, a little point, talking about some of the latest technology that I actually seen and I'm interested in probably buying myself. I thought about even going into a little bit more about some of the movies I'm looking to watch, and then maybe a little bit more. We'll just see how it goes. But for right now, we're gonna just start with this. So take a little break, and then I'm gonna be right back. Okay, yeah, we're back now. Yeah, so I just trying out these little transitions and seeing how they play out. So today I wanted to just go over basically what I was gonna talk about was the my overall setup. So basically this podcast is supposed to be just set up for different types of things, like maybe talking about technology or programming, traveling, building your business, by talking about my own business. I want to go ahead and maybe perhaps help people with with the technical part of it, but I'm not too sure if that's something I really want to do like full time. But I'm really looking to find ways for people to monetize their own, businesses. We all have like, either some sort of like social network where we have some sort of following. It's been about 10 years since, I think it's been a while since we had a lot of these new technology, social medias, but Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, then you have like WhatsApp, Line, and then you have, the new TikTok, and you also have YouTube now that also is pretty social. It's giving you an idea that you have to spend a lot more time taking care of who you're sharing, who you're talking to. It's not just for fun. Plus, they're hoping that a lot of the people that grew up on these platforms, let's say 2010, the 26-year-old, probably started out, 16, growing up with the phone for quite a while, and now they're using these apps now. So, and they want to see if they can use it to make better connections, with other people. LinkedIn used to be a recruiting service. What not like recruiters, but basically recruiters would go there to find people to work for. And now that's kind of being moved away, and it's pretty much playing into the professional networking service, like, where you're supposed to actually try to connect with people and not be a ghost on, on LinkedIn. And I'm also using LinkedIn as well to kind of talk about some of my, professional and educational life, and by just going through some of my pictures I have a lot of pictures from school. I have a lot of pictures when I was at work, and I want to just build out these nice, like, daily, cases of how I handle these things, going to work, going to school, learning things, my failures, my successes, and hopefully give people an opportunity to see who I am. And not only that, I'm also interested in, connecting my family, so, and my friends, I think that they also have things they want to basically use to kind of, make their lives better. But we are all so busy, and the power of the internet gives us opportunity to do things like talk about things, you know, across these platforms to help others. And I think it's great. And it's not really about making like money. I feel like I've already been able to modify my perception of this particular platforms, like, basically sharing and creating content online to basically get things off my chest and to kind of talk about things in a constructive way. Yeah, you can sit down over a couple of beers and talk to your friends or your coworkers after work, but that information gets lost. That gets lost with time. It gets lost with friends. It gets lost with companies, and it's much better if we found a way to, curate this stuff. Imagine you can go ahead and, 10, 15 years from now, you can take this information, and you can actually like, you can actually take the information and share it with your other friends or coworkers. That it might be more valuable over time, but you got to make sure you take care of it. So what I want to do is that on this show, we want to just, find ways to share this information with each other and see if this information is something that you can, value. You can find value in it, and and if there are things you like, please tell me, and if there isn't, tell me that too. And I actually have an Instagram. I started out where I'm going to be, making different clips of different things I'm looking to do. Don't know how it's going to be just yet, but I think that I want it to be something like, just clips of the show, clips of like things I'm thinking about. I want to be able to use that time to talk to people over the week. And then I might even post this stuff onto Twitter, so that way these things can kind of, collaborate on Twitter. Later on, I might have a Facebook page where this is dedicated to all the information that's, I'm doing over here. And with that, I'm going to take another break, and I'm going to go ahead and talk more about how I'm using this for Facebook and Twitter. All right, and we're back. So one thing I want to talk about is these little clips. Is that I don't want to invade in your time. So I think that when I talk about not invading your time, I feel like, having a podcast for an hour or half an hour is a long time. And I want to be able to kind of break these talks down into something that you can easily digest, while on a commute, or before you go to bed, or wait when you get to bed, while you're at the gym, and hopefully have it curated where you can look at the list of the each link and kind of get an idea on, is this something that you want to listen to, and if you want to binge the whole thing, I thank you very much. But right now, I think that it's best that I focus on the consistency. Well, before I actually started doing this, basically being a creator of a podcast, I was actually a consumer, and I was consuming a lot of content, on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and and movies and television shows, and I felt like I could have spent a lot of time to watch those shows and then talk about them immediately after the show, to kind of put like leave a little droplet of my what I was thinking about when I just finished that movie. Like, I actually have a YouTube video up somewhere where I talked about Man of Steel. And Man of Steel, if you're not really familiar with it, is a movie that was based off of the writer, the storyline of Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is writer, director, producer for a lot of different movies. Interstellar, Batman, the trilogy, the latest one with Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. He was part of that one. He also helped a lot with Memento back in the day, and I'm a big fan of like TV and movies and just fiction. Has always been something I've been interested in. So going back to what I was talking about, why, this is so important is that, I feel like sometimes when you go to the movies or you watch these things where people, next to you, you may not always have the opportunity to talk about it in the same way you would speak to somebody who's also a diehard fan or who likes it, or you can be able to, have it where somebody who watches it anytime in their lifetime searches for it and information shows up with you there because you also left that available for them. And that's where I want to go into when I talk about like my next segment, which is Facebook and Instagram. And so Facebook has pretty much, been around for a while. Technically, it's been around just as long as like Google's YouTube and Gmail and whatnot, but meaning around the same time. But people are somewhat disconnected with it because of the fact that the UI is very different. It's very old. It's been around for a while. It has a lot of people on it. They just found a way to monetize it after I think a decade ago they started doing it. Maybe not. I think in 2000 and I think in 2014 that's when they went. I'm not too sure off the top of my head, but I mean they went public during that time, and then they decided to to start selling ads online. They did fairly well, and right now they have these new ways of like sharing content online. Instead of you have your own page, your own profile page, but then you can use these things called like a Facebook page where you can basically publicly share things specific to you in a public space, and then anybody can look into it. And that's a great way to introduce new people to follow, not have to look at your own personal things, but they could look at your stuff, like you want, like specific stuff. So I have two Facebook pages right now. One is called A Whole New Life, which is basically a Facebook page I made up while I went ahead trying out every single gig economy. It's been a year since I've been doing those gig things, and I love it. But there's ups and downs that comes up with it, and I'll talk about that in another show. And then the second one is Magic the Gathering, which is a card game, an online card game that allows people to play the game, a card an old paper, tabletop game, and use it on their use it as a you could go face to face with anybody online. Now they've had another version of this back, for years now, but this one's more engaging. It's kind of like designed to compete against like League of Legends and Overwatch and any other like, strategy games out there. I really love it because I like to record myself and talk about my games. And I also play some music in the background. And I think that this is great when it comes down to, finding out if things are things are realistic. When are you doing well or you're not? You can instantly get feedback from people. So far, I have like 3 people who are like looking at it. My friends who I occasionally talk to about Magic, but they're not really, that's another story I can talk about later on. But I'm already at 5.5 minutes. I'm gonna go take a break, and then when we get back, I think I'm gonna go and talk a little about LinkedIn. All right, so I'm back now, and I just want to talk a little bit more about LinkedIn. All right, so I basically started out LinkedIn when I was still in college in 2008. My LinkedIn page was pretty much just another way to just jump on the social media bandwagon. I didn't really have any money connections, but I think right after like I left school and started working at this company called KDDI, where I was basically able to. I speak Japanese fluently, and I got landed a job, which that I left another job to go to where I was speaking Japanese to Japanese bankers and people who worked for the different bank, and what happened was the my Facebook page started getting a lot more hits, and it wasn't necessarily from the people from the bank. It was more like recruiters and people who I worked with, closely. And LinkedIn is great because LinkedIn tells you whenever someone like looks at your page, so it's somebody, and like, so people try to play around that, and it's great because now, it gives you an opportunity to even detect and see if people, why people look at you, if they're looking at you, when, and, you can figure out, where your next move or where your next client might be or might not be. And it's been a while to try to put things together, but for right now I want to start curating this thing. So I've been, every day or so, I've been able to get rid of all of the recruiters. Anybody who has the word recruiter in their name, I'm just getting rid of them. Anybody that is from different areas that are like outside of my expertise. And I'm only basically having people who went to the same school as me, who are friends of people who went to school with me, or people who I've, personally invited to my page. And I want to still continue to build more things on there. And the next thing I want to do is I want to like have like a business where that's what I will put on my account, not my current job, not my day job. I want to have it where like it's me, like my job, and my job will basically be providing several different services, and the services are available online, and I can talk about myself in that regard without having to, oh, I do this and I do that. I do like software development, for the web, for, last, almost 10 years now, but I don't necessarily do, like, like web development like 24/7. Like sometimes I like to, I used to like, want to, go to nursing school. I'm also going to look at becoming a marine biologist. It was like a lot of things I wanted to go ahead and do. And I did all types of stuff. But with that going forward, I think LinkedIn is going to be a great place to kind of talk about everything that you do. And then if people who are looking for someone who's a plumber, they can find someone who's a plumber online, or they can, or if I wanted to post this, publicize this podcast, which I will, but I wanted to first, get the kinks out by just, doing these iterations every week. It's really exciting. I don't know. Every time I do it, it becomes more and more. I get more and more ideas that I just can't stop thinking about it. But what I want to do is I want to just help. I want to help others who don't really have like the know-how to also utilize these services, and I want to be able to talk with them online, and trying to find ways to, to collaborate on anything, not because of the fact that I just, it's about like, oh, it's my monetary, but like I have like ideas and I don't know how to get it done by myself. I don't think it's even possible. But I think that, if we work together, one thing I want to do is I want to find a way to take all the questions my, friends and family basically have about technology, like using their phone, using VPN, using the email, how to, search for things on Google and Facebook, and find a way to like provide a service directly to them. This way you don't have to worry too much about the production part of it. You could just produce it and it'll be done. You just set it up and it'll be done, and they'll like it because it helped them. And I'll start with them. I start with people I already know, and that's when I'm going at with all these different ideas. So that's going to be it for that particular segment. And the next segment, I don't know. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to think about. I'll be right back. Yeah, so just realized that I was talking for about a minute or two, and wasn't actually recording. So I'm basically recording now, and what I'm basically going to talk about again is basically, hopefully I can just go over what I was saying, which is I don't necessarily had too much to really bring up at this time, except for talking about some of the YouTube videos YouTube channels I subscribe to. I think that having a YouTube account and subscribing to some useful content is really important. If you subscribe to some YouTube account, if you subscribe to a YouTube channel with your YouTube account, you'll be able to get a notification whenever they have a new, whenever they post a new message on the app, or you'll be able to get a notification in your browser or on your phone when they drop a new content. And some people are more consistent than others. And right now, I'm listening to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think about maybe 12. Yeah, 12 different channels that are really, really inspiring. And I think I can go over them right now. Let me see if I can just pull it up real quick without messing up the video. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my subscriptions right now. All right, so in my subscriptions, I have. Okay, yeah, I listen to one of the guys' name is Ralph Smart. He has a YouTube channel called Infinite Waters Diving Deep, and he's been around for like over 10 years now, and I really do enjoy his videos. He's pretty much a psychologist who talks about being inspired, working, thinking outside the box, and they utilize a lot of different video and editing and music to kind of build his brand online. And he's been around for a while. And I like one of his latest videos, I think is how to stop people getting in your way of your dream. And he also talks about like decalcifying your pineal gland, and not pineal gland, pineal gland, pineal gland, and yeah, but he goes into a lot of different things. I think that one of the things that he was talking about that I actually was liking was that he tries to to when you go to his video, you hear you're in this whole nother world, and so I'm not gonna go too far about that show. I think the other one is because I'm looking at them right now, and there's a few of them here, and some of them are like just random stuff. Where is it? Oh, okay, yeah. So there's another one I basically listen to, and that's the Gary Vaynerchuk fan page. And Gary V. Basically, Gary V. is he's like a media mogul type of thing. I don't know exactly how to release it, but he basically started out by helping reshape his father's wine business. Then he took that knowledge he learned, and then started to do a podcast where he does like it's called Gary V 365. He's all about hustling and living a better life by changing your perceptions, and he's also big on social media. The other thing was the what do you call it again? My video advice and Motiversity. These are like motivational videos that helps inspire you. I definitely like listening to that in the morning. I usually listen to it like right before. I have like a whole list I have downloaded on my phone that allows me to get I guess in the morning I'm really like not like low, like my whole mindset is so low because I feel like I have like so much to do during the day and it's so hard to get ramped up. And after listening to a lot of these things, it just gets me going. And listening to the same goals every day is very important to getting your things going on. It's not really any different than like working out. If you want to get fit, you gotta go to the gym or you gotta work out, exercise regularly. It's not even about how long; it's just regularly. And so going, that was the bright side, where I think these are really good because their videos are basically informational, which is also entertaining for even a younger audience. So if you have like kids that's like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, maybe 10, they can definitely benefit from these videos, and they're kind of like timeless. So they could be around for a while. Um, One of the videos I kind of listened to it was a man who flew faster than the speed of sound, and let me see, another one is CPP Con, which is I basically started listening to this when I was like interested in like the blockchain. There was one CPP Con in 2000 and I think 14 or 15 where they talked about like Ripple's coin token, and that basically utilizes a blockchain that's not really. I'm not going into it, but like pretty much, it was really fascinating, like how they talked about the software development from the from a like the using C++, to basically manage those things. So for some people, don't know what C++ is. It's a programming language, primarily a programming language that's considered to be like low, like not like lower level, like it's an object oriented language, but it's more like, I guess I don't say harder, but I feel like when you basically would use C++ when you're trying to build out performance. You want to take performance out of the software you're using, or if you're using it, if you're using some sort of device and you're using C++, those are things you do it for, and you have to really know what you're doing. And it's great to kind of like see the differences and where you're using it from. But that's just one thing. The other thing is, next one is going through here. Oh yeah, Camelot 311. Yeah, you got Camelot 311. He's a YouTuber who basically was working 11 years at GameStop as a manager, store manager, and just quit his job and just went online and just dropped everything. Now I'm not saying that he did the right thing to do that. I mean, like, I think that people just have enough and they don't know how to handle it, so they go ahead and they just leave and vent online. And he's got a lot of hits online. I think one of his largest. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can go to his site real quick and just his channel and see which one was the most popular one. The most popular one was sort by most popular, and most popularity is basically sorted by views, I believe. Yeah, so his 1 million views was 11 years wasted. I think that was like one of the first videos he actually had. He actually was only online for about 9 months. And he's had he has 55.7K subscribers. So that's about maybe 500,000 subscribers, give or take. Yeah. So, yeah. So, with that being said, I definitely think that's really great. And I also listen to some music podcasts about chill step, Alan Watts, type of music. I like listening to that type of things. And also Jermaine Ellis. He's a blog YouTuber who basically I started listening to when I was trying out like TaskRabbit and Instacart. He is a gig economy worker. He basically works on every single like app, like, and he talks about like how it is doing different jobs and then flying around East Europe, and just like with him the money he had, because he doesn't like pay for lodging. I mean, he doesn't pay for rent when he's not there, so he's able to utilize the money he has to travel. So that's a really great one I've been watching for a while now. I don't know. I haven't watched him lately. I think in the last 2 or 3 months I haven't watched him, but I do like his show. I actually want to even help contribute to his Patreon, because like a hustle like that really takes a lot of mind power, And let me see. So moving on, let me see if I can find another subscription. Oh yeah, Paul J. Lipsky, So Paul, he's basically a drop shipper. I was actually interested in drop shipping. If you don't know what drop shipping is a type of arbitrage where you buy something from one place and you sell it someplace else, pretty much for a higher than you bought it for. And this was pretty much big on websites like eBay. And eBay was the it's a store you can buy used stuff, and or you can buy brand new things, and then you can sell it, on eBay, or you can sell it on other sites like Amazon. So you would drop ship from eBay to Amazon, if that makes any sense. Some people would also do things where they would. Now that's that's the thing. What the thing about drop shipping is that you drop the shipping, so you don't buy anything and actually have it shipped to your house. You would buy it online, and then you would ship it directly to the customer. And you do this by looking online for prices, and then like trying to make sure you can't, you would list it online but not own it. And then when you finally get it, you would drop it over there. And the thing about it is that the idea between drop shipping is that people don't necessarily can control the shipping time, and they can't control the price sometimes, and somebody can't control the stock. So you have to be really quick, and it takes a lot of work. And there's been a lot of things I have experience with that. I might go into that later on about how I feel about it now. I do feel like the guy who did it I remember he was doing it, very, he was making some very, very small videos, and he basically blew up now. He has a whole bunch of videos online about drop shipping, even with Amazon and other websites. And, it's a full-time job, so yeah, let me see. Yeah, going forward now, there's a lot of different videos. I'm trying to figure. Oh, Lao Y86. He is an expat who lives in Japan. Lives in China with his wife, and he talks about like living in China and why he likes. He's from America. I think he's from New York, and he lives in China with his wife. And he's like, he basically makes videos and living, making videos about China and other parts of South Asia. Black Experience Japan, which is a guy, his name is Ronzo. I really like his show because I can really connect with that. Speaking Japanese and all. He basically sits down with interviewers and interviewees, and he just talks to them about how it is living in Japan as a African American or African, just being black in general, and it's great. And the show takes off where it's not just Japan, it's all over Asia now. The latest video is living in Singapore, and he's broken down the video to like 9 minutes now, which I really think that was actually great, because sometimes I feel like his videos tends to be really relatively long, and it's really hard to keep up with all the things he's talking about, because of the fact that it's just so much information. And I think that he should probably break them down into like segments where he probably, instead of he brings out one episode, maybe you could bring that small episode out every day, more and more of those, or have them in clips where people could just talk about those things. Now, that's just me. I know that's probably good to do, but, I still like his videos. I just haven't been able to watch all of them because I'm just running out of time these days. And I don't know. Let me stop. One more YouTube channel. Yeah, there's another YouTube channel I really like, and this guy is called Greg. Is it Greg's Beer Reviews? Yeah, I think it's Greg's. Yeah, Greg's Beer Reviews. Yeah, Greg's Beer Reviews, and it's not really like, it's just a guy on a bicycle. He just sits down in his house, and he just basically talks about beer, and like he goes over like a whole bunch of beer. I think he's at a total of like almost 4,000 videos of where he just goes over like every beer. And like I liked it going over here because like I can literally go in here and like taste listen to him. He opens up the refrigerator, he smells the beer, he talks about it, and then he just drinks it. And he tries to give you as much information about it as possible. And I think he has like by far the largest amounts of videos. His most popular video is let me see. Oh yeah, the Goose Island Brewing Bourbon County Vanilla Rye Whiskey Barrel Stout had like 154,000 views, and it's really great to see how people just doing their thing. I love watching people be successful at being them. They're happy doing what they want to do, and that's where these are the type of things. These people who I watch online, I want to be like that. Where the money isn't where you're targeting. You're actually targeting like contentment. Happiness in what you're doing, and people really need to find that. And I think people are waking up and trying to find new ways, and that's what this show is all going to be about. And I'm going to end it there. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.